guys, what's up? It's Monkey. I'm back for another video, and in today's video we will be continuing What If Dabura Turned Good. We will be now heading off into the Tournament of Power. However, before I get into this video, I do want to address something. This What If is actually nearing its end. Now, originally I had planned for this What If to go on for at least 12 to 13, maybe even 15 parts. But I've sort of lost the motivation to do this What If. Now, the parts to do this What If take incredibly long to do and to come out. And it's because of this that instead of dragging things out, I've decided to just wrap things up. I'd rather make things a little less detailed but get the last two parts out to you guys faster than, just waiting 1 to 2 months for a detailed part which takes longer to come out. In fact, I was sort of hoping I could just end this What If this month, because this part will cover all of the Tournament of Power, and then I would have the next part cover all of Moro, wrapping up this series. Obviously, the Moro saga is quite long, so it might, be a little bit to cover in one part, so I'll probably have the finale to this What If be a 30-minute special, similar to part 6 of What If Gohan was the legendary Super Saiyan. This will allow for a conclusive ending to the story of the Demon King turning good. I might also redux part 1 this month, because, part 1 is kind of trash, because I made it like nearly a year ago or something. So yeah, I'll probably want to redux part 1, just like I did for What If Super Saiyan turned good. And there were many reasons for me losing motivation with this What If. First of all, and this is probably the most important one, I simply have bigger, better What Ifs going on. One of my favourite What Ifs is What If Cell went back too far, and I love writing the story for that one. And the What If is by far, one of my favourites, and on my channel, it's one of the most viewed ones. And for that reason, I'm able to upload multiple parts to it, and I just enjoy making it. I'm able to put more time and effort into it. Also, this What If was one that I started when I first did YouTube, so I had plenty of ideas for this What If back then. But now this What If has, gotten not a little bit boring, but, I've used all the interesting ideas I had for it. The Zamasu arc, I had jam-packed it with a bunch of ideas. I did a bunch of things in it. Now, the Moro arc and the Tournament of Power is going to be pretty similar to the original. I do have a few things to spice the story up. But I would say this What If still has some big things planned for the finale, but this What If is just not on the scale of any of my others anymore. If you do enjoy this series though, that's fine. I promise I'll give you 2 very good parts which will wrap everything up, and I'll have them feel conclusive so you can enjoy them. And we will definitely have things happen in this series that are big and, interesting, just like all my other What Ifs. But wow, with that big rant aside, let's dive straight into this video. Before we do though, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with post notifications on, as well as joining my Discord server. But without further ado, let's get into it. The Tournament of Power begins, and it goes basically the same as the original. It starts with Gohan telling everyone to stick together, and so they actually do. Well, most of them do. Gohan, Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, and Dabura, as well as all the humans, all stick together, going around the arena, knocking people out. Eventually, Goten and Trunks do break off from the group, though, just to have a bit of fun. Meanwhile, the rest of the team, that being Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, do the same things as the original. Fighters begin to get eliminated, and of course, the first universe to go are Universe 9, who are mainly eliminated by Goku and Vegeta, but also Broly this time. Tien and Roshi being the first 2 to drop out. Basically the same as the original, they are eliminated by none other than the Sly Fighter, Frost. Meanwhile, Goku and Broly fight Khalifa and Kale. Things go as in the original, with Goku fighting Khalifa, her achieving Super Saiyan 2, and Kale going berserk. And interestingly, after Kale does go berserk, it's actually Broly who intervenes. He quickly powers up to Super Saiyan full power, and in his controlled-like state, he's able to make quick work of her. The tournament continues on, and we now see Dispo. Dispo decides to go on and take on Dabura and Piccolo, who are actually both the ones to fight him. They take on Dispo, and the speedy fighter is quite difficult to fight against, but the 2 of them are actually doing quite well. They are, however, interrupted once Hit joins the fray, and they decide to retreat. Obviously, Goku still arrives in Super Saiyan God to help Hit out. From here, the tournament plays out the same, with the same people being eliminated. Frost is also still eliminated too, and it's done by none other than Broly, not Frieza. Goten and Trunks are also taking on most of the fighters that 17 and 18 were, but we now enter the main juicy part of the tournament. Goku and Vegeta, as well as Broly, all go off to fight Jiren. Jiren fights Goku first, and although he is stronger, Jiren is still able to make quick work of Goku. But once Goku goes into the Kaioken blue form, the fight is actually much more even than you might think, which surprises Jiren a lot. He's now somewhat on the defensive, and Goku and Jiren continue on their fight. They go in a back and forth exchange of punches as everyone in the tournament watches. Goku doesn't hold back though, and now Jiren is being pushed back. Jiren, however, begins to show off his true power, which he didn't originally show until the end of the tournament. Jiren begins to now overwhelm Goku, which causes Vegeta to jump in. We now get Blue Evolution Vegeta and Goku teaming up against him. But even the two of them aren't able to win against Jiren. They do, however, manage to push him to his limit. This results in Goku and Vegeta fighting a Jiren who has now broken his limits. Goku and Vegeta are now struggling, which causes Goku to actually achieve Ultra Instinct for the second time. Meanwhile, Broly has now also joined. The three of them are now able to slowly take Jiren down, even while he's at his full power. Even though they are winning the fight, they're simply not able to eliminate him, and Goku nor Vegeta can seem to land the punch that will send him out. They can't land a jump on him, where they can land a clean hit to him. Broly does get annoyed at this and decides, you know what, he's going to sacrifice himself. Broly charges up his maximum power and begins firing ki blasts everywhere around the ring, similar to what Z Broly does. All these energy blasts going everywhere is able to knock out a lot of fighters. Broly then charges at full power and blasts into Jiren. He flies into him, and with help from Goku and Vegeta, who are also firing their own blasts, they are able to knock Jiren out. Of course, Broly is knocked out too. An exhausted Ultra Instinct Goku now goes to rest up, where he is helped by Goten and Trunks. Meanwhile, Toppo sees this and is enraged. He just watched his best friend Jiren get eliminated, so he goes to fight Goku, but is stopped by a perfected Super Saiyan Blue Gohan. Yes, Gohan has now achieved perfected Super Saiyan Blue. I also gave him this form in What If Gohan Trained with Whis. This is just the form that I think is good for Gohan, you know. It's a sort of nice roundabout power for him. He doesn't drain as much stamina, and he gets stronger with it. It's just a cool form. The two of them fight, with Gohan mopping the floor with Toppo, even while using his justice-based attacks. It simply isn't enough. Gohan is about to eliminate him, but Toppo reveals his God form. He is revealed to be a God of Destruction candidate, as he, of course, is a lot stronger. Gohan and Toppo now, of course, fight, as you would expect, and this goes quite similar to the Vegeta fight, actually. Gohan is able to land some pretty good hits, but it seems roughly about even, with maybe Gohan at times having a slight edge. But Toppo obviously has the Hakai, which negates that. Needless to say, the two continue their battle. The fight comes to a climax once Gohan fires a Kamehameha, which clashes with Toppo's Hakai. The two blasts are huge, and Gohan struggles, but his Kamehameha eventually manages to overwhelm Toppo, blasting him clean out of the ring. The next fight is obviously Kale and Khalifa, but they're not going to be fighting Goku. Nope, they're fighting Goten and Trunks. They both prepare themselves. Goten and Trunks power up to Super Saiyan 2, and so do Khalifa, and they now under control Kale, who is obviously now under control because Khalifa was able to calm her down. Super Saiyan 2 Goten fights Khalifa, who calls him a little brat. Goten is kind of annoyed by this, and so their fight intensifies, with Khalifa showing off her power and her ability to land things so quickly. Goten uses a flurry of attacks and eventually actually starts winning. Meanwhile, Trunks is fighting Kale, and he isn't doing as well. Kale is far stronger than he anticipated, and her potential to grow stronger in a fight is helping her a lot. She laughs at Trunks, calling him a pint-sized kid as she lands a full power punch to his gut, sending him flying. The two of them now regroup, and we get a 2v2 fight. Goten and Trunks work together to fight Khalifa and Kale in a sort of match of teamwork, to where it's unclear who is going to come out on top. Goten and Trunks have trained together a lot though, and so are starting to actually win. But that is when Khalifa and Kale, who are now being overwhelmed and about to be knocked out, fuse! Yes, they were being defeated by Goten and Trunks, and so decided to use the Potara earrings which they were given at the start of the tournament. They are able to combine their power, forming none other than Kefla. Now in her base form, she mops the floor with not only Goten, but also Trunks. The two kids laugh. They power up to Super Saiyan Rage, and the two of them both rush at Kefla. We now get Super Saiyan Rage Goten and Super Saiyan Rage Trunks versus base form Kefla. Kefla is now sort of even with Goten and Trunks, but she is quite intrigued by the Super Saiyan Rage form. They continue to fight her as they decide that they're going to need to get a lot stronger than this. They decide that they're going to do their own fusion, and they do the fusion dance, and this forms, of course, Gotenks. The battle of fusions now begins as we get an intense battle between both of them. Gotenks is still in his base form, and Kefla, who's in Super Saiyan, is mopping the floor with him. And she is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Gotenks does show off Super Saiyan 3, something which Kefla would love to learn. However, after Kefla uses Super Saiyan 2, because she was in Super Saiyan before, Gotenks realizes he can't mess around anymore. He goes from Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan Rage. The battle now reaches its climax, as Gotenks and Kefla exchange multiple blasts and punches. Gotenks also uses multiple of his signature attacks, such as the Super Ghost Kamikaze attack. The fight ends with Kefla firing her signature blast that she used against UI Goku. Gotenks avoiding it, landing his own full power burning Kamehameha, which sends Kefla flying out of the ring. Now landing, Goten does a pose, you know, that nice little pose, laughing, being quite cocky as he just starts to laugh as he's in his base form. Before he realizes it though, the Yardratian teleports in front of him using instant transmission. He now uses forced spirit vision, which splits both the boys in two and knocks them both out of the ring with 2 punches. They were both too cocky after their victory against Kefla, and look where it got them. Yeah, so the Yardratian in the Tournament of Power was a really interesting character in my opinion, because you can do a lot with him. The thing is, after we saw what happened in the manga with Vegeta learning Force Spirit Vision, I always thought it would be so cool to see the Yardratian use Force Spirit Vision, so I decided to just see how it would work here. And I feel like a cocky Goten wouldn't see this coming. So with that, Goten has been knocked out the ring, which means Goten and Trunks were, you know, technically knocked out the ring because they got split from their fusion. With that, the tournament plays out as usual, with Ribrianne being eliminated, as well as Kaba also being taken out by Dabura, who also fights Hit. However, Vegeta intervenes, and Vegeta ends up fighting Hit in Blue Evolution. Just as he's about to win though, Hit uses the same technique he used against Jiren, freezing Vegeta, which means Vegeta's basically out of the tournament. Which means our last fighters are Gohan, Piccolo, and Dabura. And they have some pretty tough challenges ahead of them. Gohan decides to go and fight some of the lesser fighters, taking down the 2 Namekians from Universe 6, eliminating them. Meanwhile, Dabura and Piccolo take on Dispo. They both fight him, and after Dispo uses a super maximum light speed mode, the fight takes a turn for the worse as they both begin to lose. They are now in a desperate situation, which means Dabura will have to reveal the training he did with Whis, and what he got from it. Dabura now chuckles as Piccolo continues to fight Dispo alone. Dabura screams as a crimson red aura completely engulfs the stage. Whis smiles as God Ki begins to flow around Dabura. He smirks, now screaming. He is now not only the Demon King, but he's also a Demon God. Dabura screams even louder as his red aura continues to explode. He powers up into his demon god form. Jiren, who was eliminated by Broly who's in the stands, screams as he sees Dabura in this demon god form, to which Dabura can't help but laugh and say, "Yes, I am a demon." Jiren stares at Dabura and vows he will kill him. Even if he has to travel to Universe 7, he promises Dabura that he will murder him. He will never forgive him. He is just like that demon who took away his master. From here we would then learn about Jiren's backstory. Dispo, having seen how Jiren reacted, is shocked. Dabura smiles as he now rivals even the likes of Vegeta and Gohan in power. He now goes down and begins to fight Dispo. Dispo is now losing badly. He's left unable to do anything, and after Dabura turns him to stone, a small push from Piccolo is all they need to defeat him. And Universe 11, they can hear a noise. What is that noise? As they see Gohan go flying, as Annie Laza forms. Yes, we see Annie Laza fighting Gohan. Yes, the final fighter in the Tournament of Power is Annie Laza. He is fighting Gohan, and Gohan is struggling. Dabura and Piccolo go to help, and we now get a 3v1. Dabura is using his demonic powers and put up a pretty good fight. And after Piccolo acts as a distraction and gets himself eliminated, Gohan and Dabura are able to fire out a Demon Masenko combined blast, which defeats Annie Laza. The yellow and reddish blast exploding, winning them the tournament. The MVP goes to, I guess you could say Gohan, since he got more eliminations, who when tasked with making the wish to Super Shenron, does in fact actually make the same wish as 17. And with that, the tournament comes to a close, with everyone heading home. There is no Broly movie here because Frieza's still dead, which means that the next part will be a super part. We will cover the entire Moro arc and the end of Z, and that will be this What If done, as far as I'm concerned. So, look forward to the final part to this What If, which will probably be a 30-minute special video. With that being said, I hope you all did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like and subscribe with post notifications, and make sure you join my Discord server. But with all that said, I will see you all in my next video. Layers!